In this tutorial, I'm going to show you 3 ways for how to keep your material editor organized. So what you see here is somewhat simple material, but even at this moment, it's beginning to look like a mess. It's hard to tell what everything is doing and what's going on. And if you keep expanding this, then it's going to be impossible to find your way around it. And it could become more of a problem if you stop working on this and come back to it later, or if you give it to somebody else and they have to figure this out. And at that point, it could become unusable. So there are 3 things that I do inside every material to keep it organized, and so I can find my way around it as I work or weeks or months later. First is giving a description to a material expression. So here I have a couple of normal maps, and they're hard to tell what normal maps they are. And I would have to select the normal map, then go into the details panel, scroll down to texture normals, and it will give me the name of that normal map. But I don't want to have to do this every time just to see what this normal map is. So what you can do is give a description to each material expression. So when I select this normal map, you will see these 3 dots pop up right above it to the left. Then I'm going to left click on it, and here you can enter a description for this material expression. And I'm going to give it dirt normal. And this will allow me to quickly see what this normal map is or this material expression, so I don't have to waste time going to the details panel and checking the texture name. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the second normal map. And this normal map is grass normal. And you don't have to enter the name into the little box above the material expression. Sometimes it's hard to select it. So if you select the material expression and then go into the details panel and find description, you can enter the name here and we'll do exact same thing. So I'm going to assign a description to this grass normal. So you can do this to any material expression so you can quickly tell what it is. So I'm going to do the same thing for the color textures we have here. I have 2 of the same color textures. One is used for near texture tiling and the other one is used for far texture tiling. So I'm going to give a quick description to each. Alright, so that's the first way to organize your material editor, is to assign descriptions. Now if I zoom out and take a look at the entire material, it's still very messy and it's hard to make sense of this all. And the second way to organize your material editor is to begin creating comment boxes. So I'm going to come down to the normal map setup and I'm going to left click, hold and drag to marquee select. And I'm going to select all these normal maps and this entire setup. And with all of these selected, if you press C, this will create a comment box around the selected nodes. And I'm going to give this box a name, normal maps. And now we have a nice neat box around a specific function within the material editor that keeps all of these nodes together. And when you zoom out, it's easy to tell what the network of nodes are doing and what their function is. Also, if you select the comment box, left click, hold and drag, you'll be able to move all the items inside it all at once. So this is probably the best way to begin organizing your material editor. So I'm going to quickly go through this entire material and create comment boxes around specific functions. I'm going to create one around roughness, then around color setup. Again, left click, hold and drag to marquee select all of the expressions. Then press C to create a comment box and then give it a name. Then I'm going to create one for the world align blend. Then for the tiling controls. And then back here I have pixel depth distance controls. So now, if we zoom out, everything is neatly organized and I know exactly what each network of nodes are doing, and if I need to update, I know where to go. If I come back to this material months later, I can make sense of this, and if I ever give this material to anyone else, they'll be able to reverse engineer it and make updates to it very quickly, because everything's been commented out. And the third way to organize your material editor is to begin creating reroute nodes. So right now you can see that all these wires are being connected throughout the entire setup, and they just get in the way through other networks, through other setups, and this creates a bit of chaos. So in order to organize these wires better, we can use a reroute node. And a reroute node acts like an extension cord that allows you to have extra connections coming from the same wire, and then you can reposition that wire a lot better and more neatly. So to create a reroute node, simply put your mouse over the wire until you see the wire highlighted. I'm going to quickly check to see where it's connected to. And then I'm going to double click over the wire, and this will create a reroute node. Then I'm going to move this node and drag another wire from it to reconnect it into another input, and it's already looking a lot more organized. Then I'm going to repeat the same step for the other two connections on the bottom. So I'm going to double click on the wire to create a reroute node, move the reroute node, and then reconnect it from the reroute into the material expression, removing the original wire that we had before from that clamp. And you can already see this is working a lot better, and it creates a lot less of a visual mess. So by double clicking on the wire, it creates a reroute node within it, but you can also create a reroute node by dragging a wire from a material expression and then letting go of the mouse. This will open up a search bar, and then if you type in reroute and insert it, this will create a reroute node, which then you can use to connect everywhere else that material expression needs to go into. So these three ways I always use to organize my materials better. I have two courses that I want to recommend to you. If you're a complete beginner with UE4, I have an essential beginner's guide to getting started with Unreal Engine 4 for complete beginners. This is the foundational course that will get you started with UE4. It has 38 videos and it covers over 7 hours of beginner material, and after this you'll be ready to go into more advanced topics on UE4. And the second course is the second volume to Fundamentals, and it is the Essential Beginner's Guide to Creating Landscapes in UE4. This will get you started for how to create and how to sculpt landscapes, and for how to create landscape materials and paint textures in your landscape. So with these two courses, you'll be way ahead of everyone else trying to get started with UE4. Both of these courses are packed with to-the-point precise instructions for how to get started with UE4 so you're no longer a beginner, and for how to create landscapes so you can move on to create the environments that you always wanted to. You can download both of these courses right now by going through the link in the description box or going straight to worldofleveldesign.com/store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.